Well, I don't think there's much point complaining about the result itself in the game, considering the fact that we know he's got to be in the job tomorrow morning. We know Neil Lennon will be here till the end of the season. Ultimately, it's a club that has no vision, a club that doesn't have ambition to move forward, and a club that is blatantly ignorant to the wants of the fans and blatantly ignorant to the position that we're in. You know, everything's fine. According to Neil Lennon, it's not the unmitigated disaster that everyone's making it out to be. You know, everything's fine, according to Lennon, but no, it's not that much of a disaster when you're losing to the team who's rock bottom of the league, a ball hair away from relegation. No, that's fine, of course, it's perfect. Celtic losing 1-0 to Ross County and Dingwall. It's just expected at this point. Look, we went 5 games on the bounce winning, and I knew not to take that as a positive, but people thought it was. You know, the comment section kept telling me, "Oh aye, Dan, you're being far too negative. Oh aye, well, we're winning, stop complaining." Even though I knew we weren't good enough, I kept saying that we weren't good enough. We went entertaining, send me to sleep. We're close to losing again, and here we are. So I want to see the comment section now, because it's been plain and obvious to see all along. So the result tonight doesn't take me by surprise. We were very poor. And once again, I'll do what I always do in these situations. Fair play to Ross County. They played well. They nullified all of our attempts of moving up the park with the ball. They waited for their chance, and then Jordan White puts it in the back of the net. It's a sad, sad day when Jordan White is the one who scores the winner into you. Motherwell fans were giving him stinking in the past, and now he's went and scored the winner against us. So fair play to John Hughes and Ross County. It was a massive result for them, but let's switch on to the real conversation just now, and that is the disaster that we've watched from a Celtic point of view. Welcome back, by the way, to the normal viewers who come across whenever we get beat. It's interesting, isn't it? It's nice to see the views perk up a wee bit, but my oh my, the season of blunders and disaster just keeps going on and on. It's been horrendous to watch, and that game is a prime example of that. Neil Lennon sitting with his feet up, watching in comfort. It's nice, it's a nice bit of imagery to how safe this man is in his job. How he, as I said at the top of the video, you know, it's a man who'll be here tomorrow morning. He'll be here, we know it. He will be. And he's sitting there with his feet up, loving life, knowing he's collecting a nice 40, 50 grand a week paycheck. Well, all of us have to sit and watch the team play so poorly. So he's fine. A manager who went into the game, starts a player like Greg Taylor, who is clearly carrying an injury going into the game, who then needs to go off injured 15-20 minutes into the game. He starts Ryan Christie up front with Odsonne Edouard when he has 3 strikers, not 1, not 2, 3 strikers on the bench, 2 of them costing fees of £5 and £3 million respectively, sitting on the bench, but instead he opts to play Ryan Christie, who can finish his dinner alongside Odsonne Edouard, and he continues to play Turnbull in a role which doesn't get the best out of him. And this is the man that's trusted to carry us forward to the end of the season. Rangers are now 2 games away from winning the league title. I honestly wish that after those 2 games were played, they would just end the season, because I just want it over and done with. I want to know if we're going to make the bold step of getting rid of Lennon as time moves on, and the fact that he will be in the job tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday and so forth. The more that goes on, the more I start to think perhaps he will be here next year. Perhaps he actually will be manager. It scares me. It really does. But we can only be. I just wish they could end it after that. Just say, oh, just call it quits. Rangers have won the league. Well, relegate whoever's at the bottom. I wish that could be done, but of course we can't be ridiculous. It's a season to forget. It's a season that's just been painful to watch week in, week out. And for everybody who's been trying to tell me to stop being so negative and that I'm a Rangers fan in disguise for the last 4 or 5 weeks because I've been saying that the winning performances haven't been good enough, well, there you go. Tonight is your prime example of why it's not good enough. That is there. And I've already said it, but just watch that, drink it in, and understand that with Neil Lennon in charge of this football club, we are going fucking nowhere. I genuinely don't know the last time I enjoyed football. Or enjoyed watching Celtic. I couldn't tell you. Perhaps when we won the cup, for that brief moment in the penalty shootout. Apart from that, we were fucking stinking that day as well. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know why all the happy clappers have been saying that there's nothing to be worried about and all the rest of it, because fuck me, we've just lost to the team bottom of the league. A January review that put us being at second as the top highlight. And one that didn't address Neil Lennon's position as manager. The only thing it was said was he's been handling out the games week in, week out, handling situation. I don't even know what they fucking said about him. It was pathetic anyway. I don't expect anything to happen. I've come to that. I'm very much numb to all the scenarios scenarios that could surround that, because I just know what to expect now. I know what to expect of both the board and the management. I know there's going to be clueless decisions both on and off the park, so there's no point me sitting here suggesting that we should be getting rid of him in the morning, we should be bringing in Eddie Howe and blah blah blah, because I just know it's not going to happen. I've accepted fate at this point. I guess the only positive is that Rangers can't win the league at Parkhead. Oh aye, fantastic. In terms of the performance itself, once again, what does the team give me to analyse there? What does that performance show us? Nothing. We've not learned anything. Why put anything to 3 things we've learned, apart from Christie's fucking rank rotten? Apart from that, what do we know? What have we learned? Nothing, because once again it was a poor performance. It was tactically inept from Lennon. He's got someone like Turnbull, as I've already mentioned in the video, playing in an area which he should not be playing in. He's doing it to suit players who are not as in form. And he's playing, as I've already touched on as well, a central attack midfielder up front. Tactically inept. We're out of our depths, it looks like. We can't break teams down. Same old. So what's the point even diving into the performance itself? The talk of the game is the result, the 1-0. Ross County, they performed well. Tactically, they were smart. They set up to nullify all of our attacking outlets. They'd done that. Edouard couldn't get an ounce of space. Every time we went for the first touch, gone. Couldn't do it. And then they took their chance. Headed goal. Once again, we can't defend a cross ball. They played to our weaknesses, and what have I been saying? Every single match preview, if teams want to beat us, all they have to do is utilise the set pieces and rough up the defenders, and bang, the score is 1-0. There's no point in talking about the game itself. There really isn't. We have such a long way to go. Whenever I'm saying let's get the season over and done with. We've got so much work to do to get back to a level that is good enough to compete for a title. Because we don't look fit enough, we don't look sharp enough. We don't look tactically like we have a clue, and that obviously comes from mostly the management, but we've got to bring in signings, we've got to improve what we see in the park as well, because it's just not good enough at the minute. It says poor, really poor, and watching it's just boring, and that's all I can really add to that. We'll be diving a lot more into it tomorrow on the podcast. In the podcast, I'll have support with me to keep me from breaking down on camera. I'm joking, but we're going to have Kieran and Ryan on tomorrow to discuss it a lot further in depth and talk about tonight. Neil Lennon's comments on the unmitigated disaster and everything. This season is beyond an unmitigated disaster. This season has been fucking embarrassing, to say the least, from every aspect possible. And we've just got to take on the chin at this point. I'm just every Celtic fans just numb. Well, most of us. The ones who are logical enough to accept what this season has been and accept the issues of this season have accepted that we're just going to be numb to everything that's happened, it seems. It's just a lot of anger, a lot of... it's just annoying, really. Aye, that about does it. Celtic lose 1-0 to Ross County. First time in the league since 2013. My ad records are being broken this season. I must give it to Neil Lennon. We're doing a fantastic job at that. Really good job at breaking records. Of course, Ross County beating us at Celtic Park for the first time since God knows when. Ross County beating us for the first time at their own ground since 2013. St Mirren winning for the first time at Celtic Park since 1990. All these records have been broken. It's great. And of course, the one big record that I'm going to keep getting told about is a quadruple treble. Woohoo! Yes, fantastic, great. I'm very happy we done it. But I don't think it excuses the absolute shit we've seen this season. And that's the reality of it all. Anyway, we'll talk about it more in depth tomorrow. In terms of the performance, we're very poor. And look, now it's a case of, it's a futile end of the season. It always was. This game has changed absolutely nothing. Let's get one thing clear. This game has changed nothing in terms of the landscape of the league title situation. Everything. Rangers had one back in November. Let's not fucking kid ourselves on. But it changes nothing. But it just as futile as it was, it just makes it fucking more futile. And as I already said, if it was an option to do it, I'd fucking end the season early. just tell you what, I'd forfeit. But aye. That's it. Like and subscribe. Great stuff. Ross County 1, Celtic now. Woohoo! See you all next time.